So, anyway, we're going to make it work. Don't worry about it. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's Monday night. Welcome to MCU Mondays. We're glad you're joining us here tonight. We hope you're having a great start to your week. Are we live, Debbie? Maybe. We are live. Okay, good. Awesome. You were looking off to your second screen with that look in your eyes. So I just wanted to make sure.
A lot of times I have to refresh it 3 times before it comes up.
She's sad because Harrison Ford did not reply to her DM.
I know.
So she's just a little sad.
I had tried for 40 years and he's never replied.
So, welcome to MCU Mondays. I am your host, David. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
I'm good, but sad.
I am sad, too. And Andrew is also with us this evening. How are you, Andrew?
Oh, I'm sad as well.
So, in case you have not heard...
I'm here, but I'm sad.
We're here, but we're sad. And if you have not heard or you did not catch up on the news today, Mr. James Earl Jones sadly passed this morning, age of 93. It's a rough day for all of us in the... I mean, he wasn't just... A lot of people, he's Darth Vader, and it's like, yes, he was Darth Vader, but he was also... he was in Conan the Barbarian, the original one. Field of Dreams. I mean, he had
Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Mufasa, yes. Coming to America, he had a lengthy... He truly was a Hollywood legend, to put it mildly, and it was a major loss for all of us in the geekdom today. So we're sad to hear it. To his family, we're right here from MCU Mondays. We're sad. We're apologize. The Sandlot. Thank you, Ubaldo. Yes. And just
I forgot about that.
Baseball. Everything was baseball. So awesome. God, the voice. Just his voice was just... He was in a movie called Meteor Man. I don't know if you ever saw that one. It was it was hilarious. Tommy Davidson as a super... or maybe it was David Allen Greer. I think it was Tommy Davidson. Superhero movie. A guy got struck by a meteor and became a superhero. And James Earl Jones was like his... If I recall correctly, it was like his guy in the chair thing. Anyway. Awesome career, awesome life. You shall be missed, sir. Well, all that being said, we do have some Marvel news that popped today.
There's even something I just saw.
What's that?
Some more Spider-Man news that I just saw, actually.
Okay. Well, that is...
So Sony... sorry. No, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Sony, the source comes from Jeff Snyder. He says Sony reportedly scrapped most of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse due to creative reasons. The film likely won't release before 2027.
Wow.
And it might, there was a contract stuff with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
As
of 24 minutes ago, that broke.
Okay.
So.
Well, also breaking this afternoon, we had some news that Tom Holland and Zendaya are both in contract talks for Spider-Man 4. And also that Spider-Man 4, is it written or directed by the guy that did Shang-Chi, or both?
Directed. He'll be the director for sure.
So the director of Shang-Chi is directing Spider-Man Home Away from Home, or Home Sweet Home, or Homeless. That's when everybody forgot who he is. He's living on the street. Mary Jane sticks her head out the window at one point, goes, "You gave up on life, didn't you, you bum?"
Hey, did you know Spider-Man's calendar only has 11 months?
Yeah, why?
because he lost May. He lost May.
Ah, ah, ah. And did you notice? Did you know that
Oh man, you could.
all the Marvel characters that dress in like a red scarlet kind of color, neither one of them have vision.
Mhm.
Ah,
Oh,
Scarlet Witch
David and I both
Daredevil.
tuck our shirts in and gym shorts. By the way, if you were wondering.
Oh no, I'm not wearing pants tonight. Nope, no pants tonight.
Oh,
I am running
you're
this show.
supposed to say that for the After Dark stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's for the OnlyFans page. My bad.
Like Bo the Mayo, we have OnlyFans. We break the exclusive news you will only hear there for just $9.99 a month. You get exclusive Marvel information that you won't hear anywhere else.
MCU OnlyFans. We're just whatever. Anyway,
money helps pay for school, so please,
that's
it's a good
right.
cause.
And Andrew's in school. He's a starving student. He needs the funds. So, Debbie, do you have any raccoons in your area tonight?
Oh.
What's your power situation looking like?
I don't know. I froze there for a little bit, and I was like, oh no.
You just froze. It's not a big deal.
That's a typical show for me.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's
so, I mean, yeah.
Nothing new there.
Usually half the show I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so before we get into our hot takes, I've kind of got a hot take, and I've already discussed this with my co-hosts, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. I as a father, am I a horrible father for I took Luke to go see Deadpool and Wolverine Saturday night. Am I a horrible father for taking my under 17-year-old child to go see a rated R movie?
No, I would have taken my kids.
You are not.
See, well, good. Andrew, you don't. Andrew, you don't count. You don't have any kids.
But... Oh, I don't get. Oh man.
No, you get no say. You are a kid. I would have. I would have questioned taking you.
I'll just mute my mic. I'll just mute my mic and say. All right.
See,
so anyway.
we're PG-13ing Andrew. I hope you're watching, Mrs. Haley. So, anyway, all right. Let's talk some hot takes. Andrew turned his mic off though. What do we got for hot? So tonight we're going to do some hot takes.
I'm back. Let me.
This is from our viewers, all of you lovely people out there. We asked you on our social media pages, what are some of your hot takes from Marvel? We wanted to know what yours were, and Andrew has all of those lined up, and he's going to give them to us, and then we're going to tell you what you should be thinking on these hot takes versus what you think you might be thinking. So, Andrew, go right ahead. What's our first one?
All right. The first hot take of the night comes from @DisChick30 on Threads.
Awesome.
They say, I hate how in recent years comics have become nothing more than MCU storyboards. I'm reading comics. I want something different, not what's going to appear on screen in a few years. Jed McKay even confirmed it as such with his current Avengers when I spoke to him at GalaxyCon Raleigh in July.
Are they storyboards though? I mean, are they going word for word for the comic books?
I didn't think they did.
See,
I think they take inspiration,
I'm not as familiar with the newer comics.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the inspiration is there, and like I mean, excuse me, like one of the big glaring ones is I mean, you can really look at it, but one of the big ones that always pops into my mind is Ragnarok. So for Ragnarok, that was kind of a take on well, some of it drew inspiration from Planet Hulk. You look at Iron Man 2 was the Demon in a Bottle series.
I read all the comics.
Well, I mean, really, you're telling the same basic story, without telling the exact story. You're in a different universe, and so you can tell a similar story without telling the exact story. So I think that's and
Mhm.
that I have no problem with. I mean, in fact, I wish they would do that more and with more, like they did with the X-Men. They did Days of Future Past, and they did Dark Phoenix. Ugh. But regardless, they drew inspiration from the comic books into the stories, and I think that that works well for that medium. I mean, there are obviously things that they have to change
Mhm.
because within a comic book realm, you can't go like the Infinity Wars in the comic books were like, wow, they were way out there. And there was a bunch of characters that had not been introduced into the MCU, and um, it was in space, and Thanos's motives were all different, and but it was the same. The foundation was there, and they just built a different house. So, and I think that's what
Mhm.
I think personally, yes, drawing from the comic books is a great way. And if you're going to sit there and say, well, now they're drawing the comic books and the movies are going to be based on those comic books, well, that's great. You've got a whole subset of people that don't read the comic books; they strictly go to the movies. And if that is,
That would be me.
I thought you were waving. I was like,
No,
I
I
know.
was
I
just
was
I
like,
see
saying
"Mm,
that
anybody else in
that's
the comic,
me.
but you got a whole subset of
sorry,
people.
sorry, Janae. Debbie was not waving to you,
Well,
just
Janae
for
popped in a
confusion.
long time ago, so hi, Janae.
Oh,
By the
I
way,
know.
oh, I just made a rhyme. I'm a poet and I don't know it. I can make a rhyme any old time.
Uh, last week, I'm sorry, I'm old. I forget what we've talked about. But last week, did we?
We didn't talk about anything last week. It was Labor Day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were off. Yeah. Oh,
So,
did we?
So
Did in
probably not.
multiverse we had a show, Debbie? That's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, it was.
uh, James Spader is coming back
2
as
weeks ago,
Ultron
maybe.
Yeah.
for
Secret
Mhm.
Wars.
Vision Quest or whatever they're calling the
Or
show,
oh yeah.
White Vision,
Yeah.
which I personally was
Yeah,
very
we
excited
talked
because
about
I
that
love
briefly.
James Spader.
James Spader is amazing. He's on
Something
my.
funny about that actually, I saw yesterday or the other day was someone was like, "Will Ultron be in android form or human form?" And I was like, "Unless in the comics that's the case, when was he ever in human form?"
When was he ever in human form?
Like,
Yeah. But
yeah, unless he maybe there's a comic run where he is. I don't
James
know.
Spader is one of the. There's I've got 3 guys on my list that I would love to just. I would if you know these people, I want to take them to lunch just because I want to sit down and have lunch with them and talk with them. It doesn't have to be anything special. I can take them to McDonald's or I can take them, but it's James Spader, Neil Flynn, and Michael Chiklis. Those 3 guys, just
Hmm.
because I think that they would be.
I don't know the second guy.
No,
James,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
oh yeah, D'Onofrio's on there too. You don't
Thank
know
you.
Michael Flynn? Michael Flynn was the janitor in Scrubs.
Oh yeah, that guy. Okay.
See, I haven't seen that.
He was in
So,
that. He was
yeah.
in the. He was in the Fugitive, and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom
Okay.
of the Crystal Skull. So
Okay.
Neil
Yes, he
Flynn.
knows.
Neil Flynn.
Mm.
Yes, he's awesome. I like him. He's. I just now Michael or D'Onofrio might be different. D'Onofrio might be hey, I want to go hang out for a weekend.
That's like that.
We're gonna go to Comic
You
Con
take them to a fancy restaurant.
together. All right. What's our next one?
Let me pull up the next one here from at Loki Jarson on X, Twitter. All new, all different was the end of Marvel. Once the films started copying it, the quality of writing took a nosedive. Comic sales have not been the same since.
All new, all different.
Hmm?
I believe when I was looking earlier, that was a comic run. Let me fact check that. I'll see if I can't
To be honest with you, I mean, if you're going to look
my
at that as
90s internet. Okay. It was a branding for Marvel Comics' main line of comics that took place after the crossover storyline Secret Wars. It relaunched nearly 60 to 65 titles with first issues, creating a new Marvel universe. It is not a reboot, but a continuation with a brand new status quo.
they do this every
So
once in a
it ran
while.
from 2015. Yeah.
They did it with one of the big ones that comes to mind is the New 52 with DC. They did that whole series with the New 52, and it was just kind of they do it once in a while, and it pisses the fans off. It's kind of like Star Wars. It makes the fans mad until it gets to be a certain age, and then they look back on it and they go, "Oh, that really wasn't too bad. It was pretty good."
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, those were the good old days. Me personally, as far as comic book goes, uh, the art from like the mid '90s, from like the probably the mid '80s to the mid '90s, maybe even a little bit into 2000s, was I loved that era. Then they started getting into more softer tones. The superheroes looked more realistic versus the. So I was just like, you lost me.
Like what I look like. They look like me.
Yeah, they look like Andrew
I always tell
instead of
people I
me.
look like Captain America before he took the serum.
Yeah,
I mean, Captain
they look
America
like
before he
normal
took
people
the
instead
serum.
of like superheroes. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm the
And again,
superheroes before they get what makes them a superhero.
and then
So.
of course, Debbie, I'm assuming you have nothing on this one because it deals with comic books. All right, give us the next one.
All right, our next one comes from Cam from Cantina Happy Hour. You may have heard of it.
I may have heard of that show. I think I might have seen
Yeah.
one or two episodes.
He says, universe-ending events tend to make for very uninteresting stories. The MCU has become an assembly line studio pumping out products instead of films. All the best MCU films have been directed by the Russos. So that would be Winter
I can't
Soldier,
argue with
Civil
the last
War,
part.
Infinity War, and Endgame. Yeah.
Well, now Ragnarok, I would say, was one of the better ones. The James Gunn series with
No
when
Way
he
Home.
did, yeah, the No Way Home, all the Spider-Man,
Original Avengers.
and all that was Joss Whedon. So,
Mm-hmm. Iron Man.
the first Iron Man, the one that started it all.
Yeah.
So you got Jon Favreau. So I would say that I wouldn't say all the best ones, but they probably definitely lead the pack.
They definitely take up half. I was gonna say they take up the majority of the top 10. So
that's like
I mean,
that's like
most people have all 4 of those movies in their top 10. So
yeah. That's I don't know. It's now as far as earth-shattering events.
I can agree with the second one.
What's that? What was the second
Oh,
one?
sorry. The universe-ending events. He said they tend to make for very uninteresting stories.
But that's what always happens in the comics, or it's always some kind of world-ending thing that's going on that everybody has to come together.
They don't if you do it right. Like the Thanos and the Infinity Stones, that was spread out over 10 years, and how many 22, 23 movies, something along that line. If you tell a big broad story versus a condensed, we're going to do the multiverse and we're going to have where did it start? We're going to have Loki kick it off, and we're going to culminate everything in Ant-Man so that we can do the big team up movie. And it's like, but it's not, as far as that goes, it wasn't like, with the Infinity Wars, every movie kind of sort of had something to do with the build up to the Infinity War. There was a stone here or something happened here. Like you had the Captain America in the Winter Soldier, and you had this stuff happening in Washington, D.C. that one, let him find Bucky, but two, was one of the catalysts for the creation of the Sokovia Accords, which obviously was a big thing throughout the MCU. So I would say that if they're told right and in a proper story to where everything links together like poetry can, like Star Wars does with poetry. Now with this multiverse, it's just all over the friggin' place. So that's why I think the universe altering events, if they're done right, yes, they do make for good movies. So, all right, what's next? And hey,
next
if you're
one
watching,
comes from.
hold on.
Oh.
If you're watching, and don't feel free to drop a comment and tell us what you think about these topics too. We want to hear from you. We like hearing from you. I'll put your comment up there and we'll talk about your comment.
If you say the MCU Monday is the best Marvel podcast, that is not a hot take. Okay?
No,
so you don't have to worry about.
That's fact.
Getting that in.
You don't have to worry
don't
about
worry.
that.
Yeah. All right, our next one comes from Michael.
Okay.
He says, even though Deadpool has only just become a Marvel property again, I find the lack of multiple voices in his head disturbing. I let it go in the first film because it was his origin, but by the third film, I was more than a little disappointed. That and the closest we get to seeing Lady Death is in Vanessa in Deadpool 2, but she comes back to life, so I don't know, man.
I think it would be confusing if you did all the voices in the head.
I think it would be confusing. I think it would be multiversally confusing, but also too, you've got to think that this is Deadpool, but it's not Deadpool from the comics. This is a different Deadpool. He's from a different world, different universe. He may not have one of those Deadpools that they fought in Deadpool 3. Oh, thank you. Oh,
let's calm.
But one of those Deadpools that we saw in Deadpool 3 may have had all the voices in his head. So, yeah, maybe. So.
That is true. Maybe this variant just doesn't. Have that.
Exactly. And
yeah, I love what we got. I wouldn't change it.
I wouldn't change it for the world, and I wouldn't. It's easier to do that.
It'd be funny that now that I think about it, that would have been funny if Deadpool and Wolverine, if there was a Deadpool like that, and Deadpool's trying to talk to him, and he's like, he has all the voices, and he's like, I can't talk, or something, like.
I think
I don't know.
On a medium like written word, it's easier to pull off than it is on a screen, because then it just gets confusing. So.
I mean, it's one thing to have because we've seen it in other movies, not necessarily Marvel or whatever, but we've seen where characters have a voice in their head and we can hear it. And sometimes they even do it visually, where they're talking to somebody, but nobody else can see them, but it's that voice in their head. If it's one person, that's not bad, as far as on a movie screen or on TV. But to have, I never read the comics, so I don't know how many voices he's supposed to have in his head, but I would think that would be, you got Ryan Reynolds, who already is talking to us, breaking the fourth wall, and then trying to keep up with.
They'd be breaking the eighth wall.
Just trying to keep it. Yeah, exactly.
His voice talking to,
well, and you talk about look at oh shoot, he just had White Moon Knight. How many personas does he have? You've got three.
Mm-hmm.
There was three
others. No,
yeah, because you got the cab driver who was introduced at the end.
But we had the visuals too, so
yeah. So it's there. They're just not. It's there. It's just not there.
I would prefer it wouldn't be, because I love
I completely
this
agree.
Deadpool. This variant.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, what we got next?
Of course you do. You'd love to be his tailor, wouldn't you?
Your tailor is a predator.
All right. Next one comes from David.
Not me.
Says, for the most part, not you, different David. Maybe it is.
No,
you.
I saw this one. This one, I'm waiting for you to read this one. Go for it.
He says, for the most part, their sequels are amazing movies. Gotcha.
I was gonna say no.
He says their sequels are lousy movies. No, he says for the most part, their sequels are lousy movies.
This is Gramillion, by the way.
How am I not surprised?
And honestly, Gramillion, you are 1 bazillion% wrong. Okay. So Iron Man was great.
They definitely have some that are, but I would not say for the most part.
Yeah,
I can name a couple that are lousy.
Now,
but not for
Thor,
the most part. Yeah.
Thor 2, yes, that was worse than Thor 1. But guess what? Thor Ragnarok was a lot better. Was tons better.
Yeah, that's true.
Captain
and then
America,
we got Love and Thunder, which just went right
went in the toilet again.
Dark World. Yeah.
All the Guardians, every one of
momentum, and whoop.
Every one of the Guardians movies was better than the last one.
Perfection, all 3 of them.
And if you sit there and tell me that Captain America, the Winter Soldier, is worse than Captain America, the First Avenger, we will fight. We will fight in the street in front of people, and I will pull off a garden hose and whip you with it.
Well, this is the guy who thinks Star Wars should be made by Michael Bay because he does pew-pews.
He thought Rogue One was
I'll say this. Movie. I won't go far as to call this movie lousy, but I don't think Far From Home is as good as Homecoming. Now, I still enjoy Far From Home. I still think it's good. I just don't think it's as good as Homecoming. And of course, No Way Home is better. But I'm not saying Far From Home is lousy. But if we were going to say maybe sequels that are a little bit less.
I would say, if you're going to talk sequels that were less, I would say probably Thor 2 and Thor 4.
Iron Man 2, maybe?
No.
Iron Man 2, maybe?
With Sam Rockwell? Are you kidding me? No. No.
Okay.
The only thing
I'm about to get booted, guys. Sorry.
The only thing I did not care for about Iron Man 2 was their choice for Whiplash. Mickey Rourke, I think they could have gone better, somebody better than him. But
I went to my bird.
Actually, Mickey Rourke and I don't think that they needed to combine the characters of Whiplash and the Crimson Dynamo, which is what they did essentially. So, but other than that, yeah, it was great. It was amazing. Sam Rockwell was awesome. We get introduced to War Machine.
I do like his dancing.
Don Cheadle is back is kicking off his tenure as Rhodey. Thank you. So yeah, it's I don't know. Iron Man 3 was great if you looked at it the right way. It was somebody who, and that carried over into Spider-Man Homecoming, to where it was like Tony knew what it was like to fight without the suit. He had to be ready to do what he needed to do without the suit, and he told Peter as much in Homecoming. And the only way he could tell Peter that is because he'd been through it. So.
Well, I have never thought of it like that before, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty neat.
Plus, he's dealing with PTSD and all that other stuff, and it's great. Plus, God help me, I love Captain America Civil War. I'm wearing the friggin' shirt, for crying out loud.
It's like an Avengers movie. It's like it's literally an Avengers movie just called Captain America.
It's Avengers 2.5. So
yeah.
You're crazy.
Which I'm not complaining about, by the way.
The Avengers movies. I mean, even the Avengers movies were each one got better and better and better. I mean, I loved the first one. I thought it was great, and I thought Ultron was even better.
I don't think
then you
Ultron's
get into Infinity.
I
think I liked Ultron. I don't care what anybody says. I liked it,
I'm with you.
but
I
Ultron was
like it. I
better.
still
And
think
then
it's better than 2012.
you get into Infinity War, and that's even better. And then you get into Endgame, and it's like you've got the culmination of all of this, and it's just great. I mean, no, you're wrong. Next question.
Wait, Travis is in the house.
Oh, Travis.
Just to put it in
Hey.
perspective.
Okay,
Yeah.
Travis, what do you have as far as a hot take? Tell us what you're thinking. Oh, here
Well,
it is. Let's see.
While he's typing that up, I can read the next one.
No Way Home is enjoyable, but is the worst Spider-Man film, in my opinion, out of all of them. Well, I think you just made Andrew mad.
Even TASM too.
Does that count? Does that count the Amazing Spider-Mans 1 and 2, or does that count the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3,
I think so.
or
I
just
think that's what he's
the
saying, out of all the
MCU
live action.
Spider-Mans?
If it's MCU, I can understand because I've heard arguments about it and I get it. If it's for all the live action movies, yeah, I mean, I've heard arguments that
oh geez,
about No Way Home being the worst MCU Spider-Man.
Okay, Biscardi, I just read the first of this, and I was getting ready to get mad at you because it says you walked out of Ultron. I was like, no. Oh, now that's okay. All right, we're good. We're good. I walked out of Ultron. Said, no, that's
I never saw Ultron in the theater, so I never walked out of it. I was like 8 when it came out anyway, so no, I was 10. I was 10 when it came out.
Wow. So. That's out of all of them, and I think Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is the second worst. Wow. That's no, I'm not saying that that's my favorite by any means. To do? But that's a lot of people say that that's like one of the best superhero movies of all time.
We need to find out how to get
the
Travis
one where he's like emo, right?
Yeah,
that's the one with Venom.
And Sandman. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Third one is.
We need to find a way to get Travis on the Escape Pod podcast and have him give these Spider-Man takes. That would make it.
Those guys would go nuts.
I know.
You know what though?
Especially Andrew, not me. Different Andrew.
And see, Travis, this is why it's so cool, because you can have your opinion and we don't look down on you for it.
Yeah.
We may not agree with it, but
yeah,
we're not mad at you. That's your opinion. Yeah. That's what you think. So good on you.
Yeah. You are free to it, yeah.
So I don't think Spider-Man 2 is one of the greatest Superman or superhero movies of all times.
Superman movies, wow.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not one of my favorites, but it's
whoa.
All right. What's our next one?
Next one comes from Rhett. He says, the multiverse lessens the stakes across the MCU, and the RDJ casting as Doom is weird.
I don't know that that's weird. I kind of... I think okay, the first part that he said about the multiverse, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Because really any kind of problem that we need fixed, oh well, it's the multiverse. That's the standard answer in any of these movies, any of these TV shows, everything. It's just multiverse. It's the multiverse. Oh, it's the multiverse. It's like, come on, it's a horrible scapegoat. But as far as the Doom casting,
I'm holding my judgment on that.
I'm holding my judgment on it because
I love RDJ.
Well, for several reasons. One, the Russos are making it, and as we discussed earlier, the Russos make amazing comic book movies. They know how to make
4 out of the top 10 best MCU movies. Yeah.
And so to bring them back is just part of the equation. Bring RDJ back. He's the guy that started it all. So really, you're looking to revive the MCU because you've crapped out on all of this multiverse stuff. So now we're trying to bring it back, and that's a good start. That's a good direction. You bring back the Russos, you bring back RDJ. Now having him as Doom, I'm holding judgment on that because it did happen in the comic books as far as Tony being Doom. And could we jump into a what if scenario here, or could this just be a variant of Tony? We don't know. We don't know how they're going to play all of that out. I'm anxious to see how they're
Kevin said
I'm pretty
he's
sure I
not
saw
a
something that
variant.
said he's going to be Victor Von Doom.
Well, and that's
he'll
fine.
be Victor Von Doom.
That's fine too. I mean, so long as he's not Tony Stark.
There's already been memes of there's been memes of it's like Tom Holland's Peter Parker seeing Victor Von Doom when he takes the mask off, and it's like his senses are like, that's RDJ, like that's Iron Man, but yeah.
So
obviously he'll have different facial hair than the Iron Man. So
I'm
if any.
I'm curious to see how they're going to play it out. Just because of the Iron Man connection. So Iron Man 3 is the best Iron Man film, one of the most original in the MCU, and aside from the villain, it is fantastic. So I will agree with you just a little bit because the villain, everybody was so ready for the Mandarin. And especially the trailers, they had the Mandarin, and then all of a sudden you get to the Mandarin, and it's like, yeah, that's right. I got to use the boner alert. But anyway, so you get to the Mandarin, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm not really the Mandarin. I'm just playing a role, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, come on. And it started so good as far as him being the Mandarin, just the way that it was portrayed, and oh, Mr. President, you must learn a lesson now. I'm going to teach you in 3 steps. And it's like, oh, this is perfect. This is great. And then, oh no, he's just some dude that they got covering for them. It makes no sense. So yes, I'll agree with you. One thought I had was that if Red Skull won in the first Avenger, Tony's parents are taken/killed earlier, Tony being born and maybe rescued by Latverians as a baby and raised into one of them. Maybe.
Ooh.
Wow. That's possible. Oh, that's as far as RDJ playing Doom. But again, it's still Tony. It's a variant of Tony, so I don't know. All I want I don't want Victor Von Doom to be, I don't want and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to explain myself. I don't want it to be Tony Stark. And when I say that, it's not that I don't want it to be the character of Tony Stark. I don't want Robert Downey Jr. to play the character of Victor Von Doom as he played the character of Tony Stark. Snarky, and he needs to be dark and ominous, and I'm anxious to see if he can pull that off.
He is, if you've ever seen any of his other films, he's a fantastic actor. If you've seen him in Oppenheimer, when I walked out of Oppenheimer, I thought he's going to win an Oscar for that role. And he did. It was fabulous. So he can do stuff that's not Tony Stark.
Right.
So I'm just willing. I'm a little iffy on the situation, but I'm more than willing to give him a chance, and the Russo brothers.
Yeah, you and me both. That one, and what was going back to what you said about Oppenheimer, Chaplin. Watching him play Chaplin. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's an amazing, amazing film. And
there's a movie he was in called The Judge.
I never saw
that. Was a good movie.
I heard it was really good. So
I watched that about a month ago. I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Netflix, yeah.
So
he's got the chops.
His range is yeah.
I think he can pull it off, and the Russo brothers are behind it. So I have very high hopes. I hope I'm not disappointed in the theater.
Secret Invasion sucks, but the idea of Rhodey wasn't actually there when Tony died, saving the world could be powerful. Now seeing his friend in Doom, seeing it as a chance to save his friend.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can see
that. Hot take, Secret Invasion is worse than She-Hulk. No. I'm gonna say there's not much in this world that can be worse than She-Hulk.
I thought it was funny, but that's just me.
You know what though? You know what's funny about this comment right here?
What's that?
That comment has something to actually do with our next hot take.
Okay, well hold on. I'm going to be sexist and racist all at the same time because She-Hulk sucked, which means that I didn't like girls and I got a thing against green people. So apparently I'm sexist and racist. So if I offend you, tough tooties. All right, what's our next one? Go ahead.
Sorry, I've just my light died, so I'm having
I saw that. It got dark, like you're from the DC universe.
I forgot to charge it. Yeah. The next one from Matthew. Miss Marvel and the Marvels were great, actually. The She-Hulk ending is sheer perfection.
Whoa! Whoa! No! Who said that? Did Dave Chameleon say that?
Matthew.
Be safe.
Yes.
Bye.
From the Ion Cannon podcast. It is real.
No.
Can't see
Bad
it.
Bad Steve.
Right there. You're not going to be able to read it.
No, I can't read it.
Oh, there you go.
This is one of those things we're going to have to go out in the street and fight with a rubber hose. Is he being facetious? Is he just trying to stir?
No, he's being
trying to rock the boat kind of thing.
He's trying to make the hot take hot.
Well, Miss Marvel was okay.
I agree with the Marvel part.
The Marvels, I thought was hilarious. It was great.
I think Steve Palpatine is right. Someone is trolling. That's not real. That can't be real. Now, as far as yes, I liked Miss Marvel and I liked the Marvels. I did not like Captain Marvel, but I thought Brie Larson redeemed herself in the Marvels. Again, going back for a million. Hey, look at that sequel. It's a lot better than that original one. So piss off. You don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, I enjoyed Miss Marvel. I gained a lot of respect for the character through that show. I had little to no respect. If they the only way that would be more impressive is if they made a Squirrel Girl TV show or something that made me respect that character, because right now I've left better things in my toilet downstairs that are better than Squirrel Girl. So anyway, in other words, she's a lump of crap. Yeah. Anyway, that's She-Hulk sheer perfection. That's wrong on that.
Oh no, he's saying the ending is not necessarily the show as a whole. He's saying the ending.
So many levels that's wrong on.
I mean, here's the thing. Nice.
That's part of the OnlyFans, the MCU OnlyFans, MCU Monday's OnlyFans page.
You remember that awesome line that She-Hulk smashes the fourth wall and Matt Murdock?
Yeah.
Boom.
All right.
All right. I know Janae's been waiting for this, so we are finally.
That one got my blood pressure up. Get the next one.
All right. Janae's been waiting 45 minutes, but we are finally to her.
Here we go, Janae.
Takes. Her first one. I hope people don't hate me, but I feel that sometimes when women write for women characters, they fall flat on their face. So I wonder if they were a lead male writer for She-Hulk, if it would have been written better, if the show would have done better.
I don't.
That's a tough one for me because
that is a tough one.
I feel like it just depends on the character at that point.
I think it depends on the character. I think it depends on. I think it depends, man or woman, whoever writes it, if they are a fan of the character. That's the thing, is if you're a fan of the character, and I don't mean fan like, oh, I read a comic book about this person once 20 years ago. Right. I'm talking like
I had a lunchbox of them.
Yeah, exactly. I used to watch the cartoon show. I'm talking like I read the comics. I continually read the comics. I have been an avid reader for many years. I know facts about
the character you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. If you are nuts about
I could go on a Jeopardy for the character.
Then I think you as a writer, again, man or woman, or a director even, again, man or woman, you're going to know how to treat that character. So I don't think sex has anything to do with it. I think the attitude, is that a good way to put it?
Mm-hmm.
The attitude of the person.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's one. A Secret Invasion. The people that worked on that did not, to my knowledge, have they weren't well known with Marvel in general. Or well versed with Marvel in general, not just Secret Invasion, but Marvel in general, and you see what happened there.
Well, so, and the same thing,
it's not just a woman per se. Yeah.
Well, and the same thing happened with Acolyte too. I think is that you hired somebody that was like, "Oh, I want to get into Star Wars." Well, how much have you watched? Well, none really, but I want to do one. And it's like, you don't know.
Here's another example. Now this isn't entirely their fault, but when the writers for Multiverse of Madness were writing the movie, WandaVision, I don't think they had seen WandaVision because I don't think it had been out yet. And so that's why there's stuff with Wanda's character that's off. But now that I'm saying, that's not their fault. So that's an example.
We made something.
It's not a talent of the writer. That was circumstance.
Yeah. So.
But we're just a bunch of white men talking about this. What do you think, Debbie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it, and I don't care who's doing the show, who's writing, who's directing, and but just like with the Acolyte, I mean, they went on a press tour, and I think they kind of ruined it for everybody because they kept pushing the with it having gay stuff in it or whatever. Agenda. You know what? Don't tell agenda. Me. Yeah. If you wrote the show well enough, I'm going to be able to figure that out for myself. You don't have to go and tell me and, make stupid comments like, Star Wars the gayest and R2's gay or lesbian. I forget what they said. And I'm like,
yeah, lesbian. Yeah.
Why would you piss off the majority of the fandom?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, just promote your show. Don't insert shit into it, and just write a good show.
Promote your show, but promote your show positively. And I say that because I saw something on TikTok. Disney's gone ahead and they're moving forward with
right.
Not gonna argue with that. So,
Yeah.
but Disney is still doing this live action Snow White. Which why do you call it live action? Because all the characters are animated now at this point. But they're still moving forward. And when she went on her press tour for Snow White, it was, the old one was so sexist and misogynist, and we're doing this and that, and we're
Prince Charming's a stalker, and
exactly.
It's just weird.
Like you're ruining. You're basically you're down.
It's not 1937 no more.
Yeah, you're down talking the movie that you're in when you're supposed to be.
You're telling me on why I shouldn't go see it, not why should I go see it.
Now, Janae, they just dropped a trailer not too long ago.
I was going to say
a couple weeks ago.
It hadn't been axed, but I guarantee you, they're going to drop it on.
It was at D23.
A month later, it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love what Steve Palpatine says. In what bizarre world would Gal Gadot be worried that she's not as hot as Rachel Zegler?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Rachel's pretty. I liked her in the Hunger Games, the newest one that was just out.
Oh, yeah. She was great.
That was great. Yeah. Has a beautiful singing voice. But, oh, my God. Check your attitude. It's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear your viewpoint on the character, what you think is weird, or, Prince Charming is a stalker. Just was she in Shazam?
Yeah,
I don't know.
She was in Fury of the Gods, the sequel.
Oh, see, I haven't even seen that one.
She was in the sequel.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah. I forgot what her character is. She's like 6,000 years old. She's like a god or something. So.
Because it's Fury of the Gods. Of course, makes perfect sense. Yeah. So
I've done better marketing for the movie just now in 5 seconds than it did in its entire run. So
they just need to set them down and say, look, these are the talking points we want you to hit.
Don't say
nothing else.
What was it he said in Iron Man? I think I'll stick to the cards this time.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. But...
he didn't do that. Regardless, you're not Robert Downey Jr. You can't do that. You're not Tony Stark. You can't do that.
All right. Next one from Janae. She says, instead of rebooting the X-Men in movie form, would it be better as a TV series like what they are doing with Harry Potter?
I'm sorry, instead of what in movie form?
X-Men.
Instead of rebooting the X-Men in movie form.
Maybe because there's so many X-Men, there's a whole pool of X-Men that you could draw from, and you could tell an individual story for each episode and then have a culmination episode at the end.
I don't know, because if they brought the X-Men back, I would just love to see James McAvoy come back as the older Professor X.
Yes.
James McAvoy is he's fucking hot.
Did you see that? Okay, so there was the.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wasn't going to agree.
I'm guessing he's going to be on your. Do we need to bring him up on your hair on there?
I need to make a new one. I love James McAvoy.
If you've been to the theater any time in the last 2-3 months, you would have seen the trailer for Speak No Evil.
That's the one.
Oh, I've seen that on Quit It! Yeah, I've seen the trailer on YouTube, and
it was on the front of Deadpool. We saw it.
Lord.
Yeah. I know.
And I just love his accent. Oh, God. I could listen to him talk all day.
My mom had to read me bedtime stories to get over that.
Wow.
Oh, you love.
That's a no, Mr. Palpatine.
Ironheart is going to be peak television.
He's being sarcastic, guy.
No, Betsy.
I mean, I hope I'm surprised and it's great, but
Our expectations are going to be so low, it can only go up from there, actually. Like, we're going to have such low expectations.
Austin Butler would be a fantastic Gambit.
I don't know. I kind of like Channing.
I like Channing, but
he could do it, but I like Channing.
I mean, swear to God, and
woo, I'm about to name for myself here.
If I had to list, if they made a Gambit movie, like a solo movie, I probably would not go see it, because listening to Channing Tatum talk in that accent for 2 hours, I'd probably kill myself.
Go see the movie that I saw in my name.
Well, see, now I had a problem with that was the one thing I had a problem with in the X-Men 97 cartoon that we did a while back. I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I didn't like him, because it's just like I couldn't understand a freaking
like
thing
anyone in the series.
Huh?
Unless what? You didn't like anyone unless it was Wolverine. You didn't like anyone.
Yeah. You didn't like Cyclops. You didn't like Jubilee. You didn't like
anyone. You didn't like Jean.
This is true. I can't deny it.
But Debbie is always thirsty.
It depends on who we're talking about. James McAvoy. You cannot deny that. Come on.
We were supposed to keep this PG-13, and we are.
I didn't say anything.
No, that's not, she hadn't said anything.
I didn't say anything.
No, but I know.
The See No Evil trailer. I'll agree with you on the See No Evil trailer, because he's bulked up a little bit. He's got the beard going on. He's got the brawny man look to him. So I'm not going to deny it. He is a good-looking individual.
And I don't know if there's any fans of the Great British Bake Off, but he just won that. And I wish they would hurry up and put it on Netflix, because I want to see it.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say, I hope he goes ahead and puts it on my table so I can eat it.
There you go. That's a good one.
Like,
the Gambit movie would need to begin with Deadpool putting one of the universal translators on him that Star-Lord and the Guardians wear. Then his voice changes for the audience.
Oh, Lord. Because see, in the Wolverine movie, the guy who played Gambit in that, I think I could.
Yeah.
You can understand him.
Here you go, Steve.
The comment's blocking me. I just realized that. I lifted up my shirt and I'm like, oh, the comment's blocking. So.
Yes.
I think I did drop an F-bomb earlier.
You did.
If you did, I haven't been paying attention.
Oh, I think it was about McAvoy. I said he was fucking hot.
If you join the after dark,
there you go. You just dropped it. If you missed it, that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
Steve,
if you join the OnlyFans, you will see me without my shirt off all the time. Just saying. You have to pay extra.
I'm kidding.
But yeah.
All right, Andrew. Do we have any more hot takes?
We got 2 more.
Okay, let's get through.
We just have 2 more. One is a long one from Tyler.
Okay.
It's an article, but I will read it as fast and clear as possible.
Okay.
I think Marvel shot themselves in the foot. People loved Infinity War and Endgame, and now expect every film to feel that good and impactful. The issue is, that film was so good because it had 10 years to build up to it. People need to realize to hit that peak again, you need to hold on for the ride. Marvel is scrambling, thinking they need to change everything, when in reality, they need to stay the course. If you had a plan, stick with it. This is a company who knows how to tell a story that takes years to plan and set. They always plan out their comic events at about 2 years in advance to know what direction their characters should go. In Iron Man, the first film, they hid the 10 Rings group in the film, and we didn't even notice. They are always building up. Now fans are spoiled, some cry loudly, and Marvel feels they have to keep changing to please everyone. No, just stay the course. You build and correct in small cases as needed. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, here's the problem. Because not only does this fandom have that problem of I want to get that feeling again, it's exactly what happens with Star Wars. I want it to make me feel like it did when I first seen Star Wars in whatever era you've seen it in. Me, 77.
Whoa.
So, it's if they don't feel that when they go see a movie, then it's trash. It's a piece of shit. The writing, it's woke, whatever, blah 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 blah. That's the problem.
My thought on it, and I've voiced this opinion many times before, is that the MCU should have, when Endgame aired, when they did Endgame, they should have said, okay, we're stopping that. We're stopping the MCU, and you take a break for 2 or 3 or 4 years. Okay?
I don't like that at all.
Well, now hear me out, but then you
not for Marvel stuff, but just MCU related
stuff. Well, and really you say, okay, we're going to do a soft reboot, and you start all over. I mean, you already have established characters. You keep Iron Man. You keep Tony Stark and Iron Man. You keep Thor. You keep Banner and Hulk. You keep all the same characters, but you recast everybody. You recast and you tell another story. You tell
people would be pissed with that too.
Kind of like a Crisis.
Oh, but he's not. RDJ. Nobody will ever be Iron Man.
David, how would you feel if they got Tom Cruise as Iron Man? You would be like, "Oh, that's not Iron Man."
I'm done with the MCU when that happens.
Are you new to the show?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've always had a mouth. I talk like a sailor. If you knew me in real life, you would be shocked.
Unless the raccoons get into the Transformer box, but other than that.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
All right, what's our last one?
Last one comes from Philip. And he says, Taika Waititi and James Gunn were the worst things to happen to the MCU.
No.
You fucking nuts.
Wow. That's the third time. We've just jumped into R rating.
Oh my God. I
think it's the fourth.
Guardians, all three.
Were
perfection.
Amazing.
All three. Not a bad movie in that whole series.
Now, as far as the Taika Waititi
I agree with Steve.
thing
He's
goes,
half right.
As far as that
Thor,
goes,
Love and Thunder.
Here's the thing, and Steve, you're half right on that. So you're like a quarter right. What I would say with that was that it's almost like they approach Taika Waititi and they say, we want you to make a Thor movie and do it kind of in your style, but we need Thor to do this. Here's the guidelines. Here's what you have. Here's the range you have to work in. And he made Ragnarok, which was an amazing movie. And everybody was thrilled with it. And you had the Hulk in it, and it was great. And everybody was excited, especially when Hulk, yes, he's a friend from work, all of this stuff. And it was all great and everything. And
when Bruce Banner says, "Let me show you who I really am," and he jumps out, splash, right on the bridge.
And then he's the Hulk again, and Hulk, for the love of, don't smash, big monster. Yes, don't smash, it's fine. So I mean, it was a great movie, and I think the people at Marvel looked at that and said, "Okay, Taika, you made an awesome movie. Make another one, and no holds barred, and then we got Love and Thunder, and it was like, oh, you got to keep him. You got to make sure he stays in the lane here. He's one of those guys that it's like, I'm gonna. Well, what did Star-Lord say? I'm gonna have a 20-foot tall Skeletor statue and a Pac-Man, and there's gonna be some crazy shit going on here. I mean, that's kind of what happened.
If the thing between my legs had a hand, I could have landed that ship.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Travis. Now, I thought Charlton Heston was good in Planet of the Apes. You want to see a movie where he called it in? Watch the original Airplane. I mean, he was just there.
Not Airplane, Airport.
Oh, yeah, Airport.
Airplane was, I was going to say, if he phoned it in
like,
on Airplane, he was supposed to, because that was a funny movie.
Airport. The very first Airport. Yeah, he called that sucker in. He was just there. He was just there for a paycheck. Well,
and actually, the same thing could be said with Planet of the Apes, whatever the second one was. It was Beneath.
Escape?
Beneath? No, not Escape. I think it was Beneath.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because, again, Beneath, he was in that for like 5 minutes, and you could tell he just phoned it in. He's like... he was
that's
like...
What studios, he was like when I get calls from studios asking to have me on, that's what I have to say. I just phone it in.
He was like...
got me for 5 minutes.
Yeah. He was like... he's like Michael Caine in Jaws 4. He was like, I just needed money for something, so I did it. Yes, absolutely. He killed it. Because that movie is...
hilarious.
Beyond hilarious. They don't make movies like that anymore.
They couldn't. They couldn't.
No.
Make movies like that. Blazing Saddles. Woo! The people would riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like what, 7 movies? 6 or 7 movies?
I think there was only 5.
Really?
There was 5 in
there
a
were
TV
5
series.
Of the original.
5 of the originals and a TV show.
And then the 2001 Tim Burton movie. Remember Tim Burton's remake?
Yeah.
And then the new series, there's been 4, and they're planning a total of 9.
Do they even have those anymore?
What? Oh, 900 numbers. I don't know. I haven't watched any late night infomercials.
I don't think I have USA. Didn't
you
USA
get an old phone book?
It's like USA Up All Night, and you could watch
Here's
that.
something funny to do. You get a phone book from like however many years ago, and you call that number, and you know the number is not going to still be with the place that it was. But when the person answers, you call as if you're calling that place that's in the phone book. So if it's like a dry cleaners, that's now just some random person's number, you create you lead the conversation as if you're calling a dry cleaners. And no matter how much they say, I'm not a dry cleaners, you say, I just am trying to get my suit cleaned. Okay. See, I've never even heard of that.
Oh, it was a thing. Your mother would not
look it up.
No,
your mother would not approve.
Your mother would not approve. This is Haley.
Let me just look it up.
We did not.
Oh my gosh, my eyes.
So, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Was that our last hot take? What a fun show.
That was
awesome. Love the hot takes.
A lot of good
stuff.
Yeah.
So even though, again, we
should react to them while eating hot wings, like hot ones. We each have our own chicken wing. We take a bite and then we react to a hot take. Yes, that'd be fun.
No. Okay,
Debbie's busy that week.
What do we got for shameless plugs? I had to do the shameless plugs myself on Thursday because of your raccoon.
Did you do all right?
Yeah, we did fine.
Oh, see, you don't need me on this show.
Fine. You don't need me on the show either. It's like the Raiders effect. You take me out of the show, and the same show still happens.
Let's see. Well, tomorrow night I'll be over on the on the Sith Dominion channel, different channel, over on YouTube, and we are talking about the Sith influence in A New Hope. Let's see. Wednesday, I'm assuming we'll have a new episode of War of the Stars. Thursday, I have no clue what we're doing. Thursday, are we doing anything?
I'm out of ideas.
On Cantina.
I've drained my brain of creative ideas.
I will send out a. We'll see. I'll send out something on tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I gotta get Cam in the loop because he's part of the show too. So I can't.
Steve, I'm always profane.
Yeah.
That has never changed. How long have I been on this show?
Well, actually, I was thinking about that the other day. 2021.
Longer than I've been alive.
It's been 3 years. 3 years.
At least every show I cuss or rant something.
Unless she's
Travis knows. So hop over there. 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central. Hope I got that right. Yep. Tomorrow night on the Sith Dominion channel here on YouTube. Okay, and then Saturday we'll have the Geek Gauntlet, and they talk about everything.
You're not too far off there. I mean,
He's only recently been potty trained.
No, wait. Yeah, I still bit the bed.
Okay, Andrew, do you have anything as far as shameless plugs go?
Can I even follow up that?
I don't.
I don't know at the moment. I doubt, honestly. Regardless of that, I don't. So.
All right. I've got nothing, so that's going to do it for us tonight. You guys all have a great, great week. We will see you all next week right here on MCU Mondays. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you all next week.
Join us next week as Captain America takes on the Daredevil.
Your Honor, I lost $5,000 on the Marvel Company baseball tournament because Daredevil lied about his blindness and hit 5 home runs.
I just got lucky, Your Honor. I can't see anything.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'd like to drop all charges.
He's out.